I still sit on the right side of the couch, even though the left is closer to the lamp. I open the window just a little, like I did when you said it felt too warm. It's not that I'm holding on, I just haven't found a better way to forget. You sat here once, and the room still remembers. Not your voice, just the space you left behind. I still fold the blanket twice, not because I expect you to show up, but because some habits feel kinder than letting go. I don't replay the last words, but I remember how you looked away. You sat here once, and the quiet still waits, not for you, but for what we couldn't say. So I sit on the right side, not because of hope, but because that's where we were when we didn't know we were saying goodbye. We were saying the coat you left is still behind the door. I almost moved it once but stopped. It doesn't matter if you meant to come back, because you didn't, and I don't ask anymore. I've learned how to sit with the light off and let the quiet speak for us both. I was that hour between leaving and regret, the moment you thought of turning back but didn't. No clock ever rang for it, but I was there. I still make too much coffee in the morning, still pause when I hear keys outside. I'm not waiting, but I haven't rearranged anything. It's not for you, it's just how memory behaves. I stopped calling it missing you. Now it's just what the silence does. I was that hour between doubt and decision, the soft hesitation at your exit, the quiet before your name disappeared. No one saw it but me. I was there. I was there. You probably don't even remember, but every ending has a breath that almost wasn't taken. And I was that. So I'll keep the cold where it is, not as old, but it's proof that I once existed in the middle of your maybe. You paused at the bottom of the stairs, Hand on the rail like it meant something. I stood behind the kitchen wall, holding my breath like a secret. The silence felt too loud, but I didn't break it. You didn't look back, but I swore your shoulder almost did. You almost said my name, and I would've said it back. The kind of moment no one writes down, but it rewrites everything. It passed between us like a ghost, soft and still unfinished. I didn't follow you out, even when the door stayed open. I told myself you'd come back, but the night made no such promise. It only held what I didn't say, and the sound of you choosing not to. I've whispered it since, just to hear how it could have felt. You almost said my name, and I would've caught it whole. A name like that held once in love doesn't fade, it just floats. I heard it in the space between your leaving and my breath. Sometimes I dream it differently. You turn, you speak, I answer, and the world stays a little longer. But you didn't, and I didn't, so now it's just a name only I remember. You never asked me to explain why I stayed quiet when it rained, why I slept with the light on even in summer. You just handed me the blanket and turned the volume low. I never said thank you, but I think you knew anyway. You watched me fall asleep like it was the softest truth. No questions, no conditions, just breath and trust and time. I don't dream of you often, but that moment still keeps me warm. There were better days, louder laughs, but that quiet night, that was the most honest. No pretending, no promises, just peace I didn't know I needed. You didn't hold on, but you held me once. You watched me fall asleep, not to protect, just to stay. Ever waited for me to stop pretending. You didn't change my world, but you gave me one night of rest. Some love isn't built to last, but it still teaches you how to soften, to stay. And I carry that version of me, the one you saw, the one who rested because someone still in the drawer, unfolded, unread. I know what it says, or think I do, but some part of me wants to keep it uncertain. Closure's just a prettier word for things we never said. I left it unfolded, 'cause pretending was kinder. To imagine it said I'm sorry, than to find out it didn't. Some truths are softer when they stay sealed. I moved the box last month, but didn't open it. You were still in the same place, right where I couldn't face you. Not again. I think love ends when we start searching for proof. I left it unfolded, 'cause maybe it held you, or maybe just goodbye. But paper can't hold a heart, so I left it where we almost worked. You gave me words, but I kept the silence. It was the only thing that didn't disappoint. And maybe one day I'll read it, but not tonight. Tonight I let it be. We never said forever, but we planned like we meant it. Marked weekends, shared playlists, talked and half smiles that felt like promises. Some love doesn't break, it just fades into background light. We were almost always, never quite sure, never fully gone. Too much to forget, too little to hold. The kind of story that ends in lowercase. You left a scarf, I left a line. Neither of us asked for them back. We both knew some returns are harder than letting it stay quiet. We didn't fall apart, we drifted like seasons out of sync. We were almost always, not quite a flame, not yet a ghost. Enough to ache, but not to fight for a love we nearly lived. And always remember, some things don't close, they just stop being opened. You still pass through my thoughts, not loud or not wrong, just there, like we almost were. You found me in a quiet year, when I smiled but didn't mean it. I wasn't whole, not really, still learning to stand in soft shoes. You didn't try to fix me, and that's why I stayed. I wasn't fully healed, but you loved me like I was. Didn't rush my reasons, didn't ask me to explain. You held the version of me even I hadn't met yet. You never flinched it saved me anyway. I wasn't fully healed, but you didn't treat me like a lesson. You offered warmth without a map, and I still walk some nights the way your words taught me till we weren't meant to stay. But you helped me start again, not fixed but less afraid. I never showed you everything. You saw shadows, not the way then. But you knew they were there, and you never pulled the curtain. You just stayed in the glow. Sometimes love means not asking for more. Behind the curtain light, you found me halfway, didn't tear the fabric, didn't need the story, you just kept standing where the softest part of me was. Behind the curtain light, you gave me safety, not answers. You didn't name what you saw. You just looked and stayed. I didn't open up completely, but I wanted to. And sometimes that's more than Behind the curtain You were looking out the window, but I was staring at you, thinking of a sentence I should have said 2 weeks ago. Something quiet but true. I thought I'd have more time, but silence always leaves first. Wish I whispered something softer than goodbye, a word you could have held when nothing else made sense. But I let the moment pass, and now it's all let go. I replay the scene too often, just before you picked up your coat. My hand nearly reached for yours, but nearly never saved anything. Maybe we ended in the breath I didn't take. Wish I whispered a truth you could have kept, even if it changed nothing, even if we still fell apart. At least you know you mattered that much. Now the words stay quiet because I taught them to, but some nights they still try. In every group photo, I was the one on the edge, smiling like I belonged. But watching you more than the camera, even then I think I knew just stop shining where you never look. You talk about her and not too quickly, like approval could erase the way I wanted to be enough. I never asked because I fear the answer. Always in the background, I kept showing up for birthdays, bad days, and in-betweens, hoping you'd notice, but you love the light, not the lamp that waited. I don't miss you, I miss who I thought I could be if you had looked once like I matter. The playlist ended, but I didn't press repeat. For the first time in weeks, the silence didn't scare me. It sounded like something I used to know, like my own voice. I forgot how steady I could be when no one else is listening. I heard myself again underneath the noise I let in, and not the version I performed, but the one who waits behind it. She was softer, but she stayed. I made tea without checking my phone, let it steep longer than usual. Even the light through the curtain felt like it had something to say, and I finally wanted to hear it. The world didn't change, but I started choosing what I let echo. I heard myself again, clearer than you ever did. Not loud, but certain, and it was enough to feel like coming back. You might never hear me like this, but I do, and I'm not leaving me again. I said I was fine, you even smiled when I said it. You nodded like you didn't wanna look deeper. I don't blame you, I wouldn't have either. Some truths don't ask to be heard, but they still stay loud behind the words. There was love I didn't name, a crack in every sentence that tried too hard to close. I kept you out because I wanted you to stay. friends, I hope you know you were loved quietly. I washed your cup this morning out of habit. Still 2 fingers of tea left, like you always did. You never finished, but you stayed longer than anyone. I didn't cry, just noticed the heat. The mug was still warm, like a goodbye that took its time. You weren't here, but something lingered, and I didn't push it away. I just let it cool. You didn't pack everything, left a shirt, a book, a laugh in the hallway. I thought about texting, but the quiet answered first. We ended without a headline, just 2 people walking slower. The mug was still warm, and so was I. Not broken, not waiting, just softer than I expected to be. Love didn't leave all at once, and I'm grateful it gave me time to say nothing and still feel. It didn't storm, didn't shout. You just looked down and I looked away. We said take care like strangers who meant it, but didn't know how. There were no last kisses, just a softer kind of ache. The quietest goodbye still echoes the loudest. I didn't cry, but my heart flinched. You left so gently, it still hurts. The room stayed the same, but nothing felt familiar. I made tea, didn't drink it, just watched it steam, like all the things I almost said. Some endings don't break, they just stop holding. The quietest goodbye still changes everything. We didn't fall, we just stopped, and the silence became a name I once wore. I don't replay it, but I never turned it off. I stayed sitting like the air might shift, like the echo of your footsteps. Would say something more, but they didn't, they just fade. Even silence has a shape when it's yours. After you left the room, everything leaned a little apart. The clock ticks slower. My name sounded different, even to me. I didn't clean the table, didn't move the cup. There was peace in leaving things unfinished, like we were paused, not done. I told myself the door would open again. After you left the room, I waited for a noise, for a word, a laugh, anything. But all that came was the feeling of not being needed. Now I leave rooms too without closing the door, just in case someone stays. You weren't the ending I wanted, but you were the middle I needed. Not everything made sense, but not everything had to. We laughed between questions and held hands between storms. Some people leave, but not everything they gave goes with them. What stayed soft was the way you once looked at me, the way I stood apologizing for taking up space. It didn't last, but it mattered. You never saw the letters I didn't send, but writing them helped. I started talking to myself like you talked to me, kindly, patiently, like I was worth the effort. I miss you less, but thank you more. What stayed soft was the version of me who smiled without checking the mirror. You didn't fix me, but you reminded me I could feel light again. It wasn't forever, but it was full, and that's enough to walk full. The sky's not dark anymore, but it's not morning either. A slow blue that doesn't ask for attention, just exists. Like peace, trying again. I don't feel whole, but I'm not empty tonight. It's almost bright, like a breath after crying, like the kind of hope you don't talk about yet, but carry, because maybe I clean the corner of my room where your jacket used to hang, not to erase you, but to make space for something unknown. the sun, but I'll stay near the window, because tonight I'm almost bright. You never knew I noticed the way you fixed your sleeves before speaking, or how you'd pause before saying my name, like it wasn't quite safe, but worth the risk. We never started, but I still remember the beginning. If tomorrow waits, maybe we meet where we never were, where time was kinder, we weren't strangers. I don't hope for it, but I leave space. I walk past the same bench. You once looked at the sky from I sat there once, and almost believed in timing. Almost. You weren't mine, but you were something. If tomorrow waits, it won't fix today, but it might forgive it, might let the almost turn into peace even without you. So I won't chase it, but I'll think of you when the sky softens, like you once did, like you once did. You never said you loved me, and I never asked, but there was something in the way you stood close when I couldn't breathe, that stayed longer than any promise. Not everything needs a name to leave something behind. And this was the quiet kind of love, the kind that doesn't need answers or futures, just one moment that never left. You left before it turned into anything, but not before it meant something. I kept your silence like a photograph, blurred but beautiful. If I ever see you again, I won't ask for what we weren't. And this was a story only I remember, but it's mine, and it mattered even if it ended before it began. Some loves aren't lived, they're just felt, and that's what this was, what it still is. I could've called, could've asked how you've been, but I didn't want a version of you that fits inside small talk. You weren't built for half conversations, and I'm too tired for pretending. Some goodbyes are just quiet, no punctuation. No words tonight, no reaching back. I lit a candle and that was enough to remember the warmth without reigniting the fire. I wrote your name once, then erased it. Not out of anger, just peace. The kind that comes when you stop needing answers. We were louder once, but now silence fits better. No words tonight and no regrets. Just me, the dark, and the fact that loving you taught me something about leaving gently. So I won't say it, but I still feel it, and that's enough. You took your books, your jacket, your voice, but the room didn't follow. It stayed with the light angle just like you like, with the rug a little crooked from the last time you danced there. Absence doesn't erase everything, just makes it quieter. The room stayed like it knew how not to move on too fast, like it understood that healing isn't cleaning, it's remembering without breaking. I open the curtain slower now, not to check for you, but to let morning in at my own pace. You never rush me, even when you left. That's the kindness I still carry. The room stayed, and so did parts of you, not in objects, but in stillness and in how I breathe without apology. I don't wait anymore, but I don't forget the room knew about and stayed. The room stayed like it knew how not to move on too fast, like it understood that healing isn't cleaning, it's a now I breathe without apology. I don't wait anymore, I don't wait anymore, but I don't forget the room knew I used to leave all the lights on, like brightness could keep you. But tonight, it's just one lamp by the chair you never sat in, and it's enough. I don't need everything, just a little that feels like mine. One lamp on, one room quiet, no answers chasing me down. I'm not healed, but I'm here, and that's something. The tea went cold again, but I didn't pour another. I stayed still, letting the warmth fade, like feelings that once asked for more. You're gone, but not everything. Left it with you. One lamp on, and I'm not searching, just sitting soft inside a night that doesn't need fixing. I'm not over you, but I'm past holding on. The light stays, not for you, but for the version of me who finally rests. There was always something between us, distance, timing, what ifs, even when you were near. I felt you through a layer of maybe, like we kept love on mute just to stay safe. But tonight I remembered how I sounded when I wanted you. Nothing in the way, not pride, not fear, just the way I would have said your name if the world had paused long enough. I don't love you now, but I did clearly. I walk past places where your laugh still lingers, and it doesn't hurt like before. Oh,